Hi, good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you've logged in from. My name is Kapil Nakra, and today we have a very interesting session planned for all of you. We'll wait for another couple of minutes. There are still people who are logging in, so I'm just waiting for another minute or so, and then we will start the session. By that time, if you're not able to hear me properly or you're not able to see Pratik's screen, you can just type it down in the question panel. Great. So I think it's time we can start the session now. First and foremost, I would really want to thank all of you for joining in today. Today, the topic of today's session is social media in 2015 trends, tips, and tricks. If you're somebody who has actually had not done anything on social media as a business in last 1 year, believe me, social media is not the same. And if you've not done something in last 6 months, believe me, social media is still not the same. In fact, if you've not done anything in the last 3 months, believe me, social media is still not the same. That's the rate at which it's been evolving. So that's exactly what we are going to explore today. What can we expect in the social media domain, especially from the business point of view in the year 2015? In this session, we have with us Pratik Shah. Pratik is a very dear friend of mine, and he actually leads social media marketing trainings at Digital Vidya, and he runs a consulting firm called Green Smiles, which is all about providing holistic growth to organization. Welcome, Pratik. Really delighted to have you here with us today. So
Right.
without
Hi, Kapil.
Hi. So without taking any further time, now I'll hand over the session to Pratik. Those of you who are joining us for the very first time, we'll have the session for about 35-40 minutes, and then we'll have an open Q&A. While the session is going on, if you have any question, please feel free to type it down in the question panel. I'll try to take all the questions in the chronological order. So that's it from my side. Over to you, Pratik. You can start the session now.
Right. Thanks a lot, Kapil. And hi, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and maybe some of you are joining in the middle of the night. This is a very interesting session for me as well. When I was thinking of what topic to pick for this webinar, I had a lot of thoughts in my head, and then I was like, okay, social media in 2015. Let's see where this journey is going to take us. So let's begin then, and let's try to quickly see what are the things that lie in store for us in this year. I'll try to keep it as crisp and short and quick as possible so that we can take as many questions in the later half of the webinar. Since we are going to keep it crisp and short, I would expect all of you to pay attention so that you don't really miss out on a lot of stuff, right? So without further ado, let's just begin. So when we talk about social media in India, as Kapil was rightly mentioning, things have just been changing every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, every year. If you are somebody like me who's been in this field for the past 4 years, you would exactly know how things have changed from a point in time when normal campaigns could also go viral to the time when advertising was essentially introduced to the time when Twitter was the happening place, to a time when everybody was trying to log on to Foursquare, to now that Instagram is probably there on every other phone, or there are, in fact, niche platforms for different aspects of social media. So the journey has been quite interesting. Things have been ever evolving. So now let's see what's out there. So if we talk about India, there is 19% internet penetration. You may not be aware of that fact, but it's only a percent less than 20 population of this country that we've actually been able to reach out to, right? That's all that there is. Among that 19%, there is only 8% social media penetration, right? Overall. So you can just imagine the number of people who you can still reach out to in terms of them adopting social media. But the more important point that I'd like to make today is that there is 70% mobile subscription penetration, right? Now, what is happening over time is originally people only used to access internet over their laptops, over their computers, over their desktops. But with time, more and more people are using internet on their mobiles. This is the way mobile internet usage in India has been changing, right? If you talk about June 14 to June 15, as you can see, I mean, that's estimated, of course, you're looking at somewhere around 55% growth, right? And the interesting part is, if you look at rural and urban, you can see that they are both growing hand in hand, right? Everything's growing. More and more people are adopting internet on mobile, and mobile is going to be one of the key things that you need to keep thinking of. If you talk about the mobile ad revenue of Facebook and Twitter, 62% of Facebook's profit comes from mobile, 80%, 81% of Twitter revenue again comes from mobile ads. But this is global. As some of you would have come across the sad statistic somewhere around last year, if you talk about Facebook per se, India only contributes less than 0.1% of their global revenue, which is extremely sad, but it is also extremely heartening to know that with so many of us here on Facebook in this country, it's a very good sign that this revenue and this percentage can increase and will keep increasing. So the first trend that I'd like to bring your attention to is that 2015 will truly belong to mobile, right? There has been talk about this forever. There has been talk about how 70% of Facebook users actually log on to Facebook through mobile. If you look around, some of you might even be logging in right now through the mobile for this webinar as well. But if you particularly talk about social media, I think there has been a paradigm shift and everything has suddenly gone from the laptop and desktop to mobile. Because more and more people now, it's just handy, it's easy, it's convenient, and as we'll see, many other things, right? The second question which a lot of people have been talking about is Facebook organic reach actually dying? There have been plethora of articles around the same. There has been a lot of discussion around it. We as community managers, I'm sure most of you must also be managing some of the other community, feel the pain of not being able to reach out to a lot of our fans, not being able to make our content reach out to anybody, because Facebook reach has only been shrinking and shrinking, right? So the question then is Facebook organic reach actually dying? And of course, the simple answer is that no, it's not dying. It's of course receding, it's reducing, but there are ways to go around this Facebook organic reach which is receding, and there are ways to still increase engagement and thus reach. So what are some of the quick ways to ensure that you keep increasing your engagement, right? Let's look at that. First of all, Facebook has introduced something called trending topics, right? You've got these trending topics all over Facebook. They're on the right hand side. People are writing stuff about it. It stays on the top. For example, for all you know, AB de Villiers might just trend today, and in fact, Arnab Goswami was trending. So if you use these trending topics, there is a much higher chance of your content coming on top, your content appearing in people's news feeds, and your content reaching out to more people. So it might seem like a very inconsequential suggestion, but trust me, you start using a trending topic once a day, once in a week, you see the difference with that post and other posts. The second thought is quality over number. There was a time when a lot of people used to share innumerous posts, hoping that if somebody didn't see the post in the morning, they will see it in the night. If they didn't see it today, they'll see it tomorrow. But now all that has changed. Thanks to Facebook's algorithm changes, one of them being time bumping and the other one also being penalizing negative posts. I'll quickly take you through both of them. Time bumping makes a good quality post from yesterday or day before or sometime before that come up in my newsfeed even today. Whereas penalizing negative posts means that if I am writing too much of random stuff on my Facebook page and a lot of people are unliking it, which is happening by the way, then Facebook will ensure that the other people on your page who also like your page don't get to see your posts, right? So what you need to do is you need to ensure that you may not really do too many posts, but whenever you do a post, it should be of good quality. The prime example in this case is Zomato. Just look at that brand. They might post once in a week, twice in a week, but whenever they post, engagement is guaranteed, good reach is guaranteed, a lot of shares are guaranteed. The fourth thing, and this is an official Facebook announcement in a way, if some of you are subscribed to their Facebook for Business page, you might have also got an email, in fact. They're saying that please do not keep posting promotional stuff. We know you want to promote your brand. We know you want to promote your services. We know you want to sell. There are ways to do that. But when you are posting a picture, when you're writing some content, don't fill up the picture with 20% off on so and so. Don't fill up the text with, uh, those bold letters. And by bold, I would mean capital letters saying that, screaming out 20% off on this garment at this store on this Sunday. Facebook's algorithm will track such content and make sure it doesn't reach out to too many people. If you want to do an experiment, try doing an experiment with the same messaging yet different kind of content. You will see the difference. And last and most important point, timing of post. We all know this is available in the analytics section of the Facebook page, that you post at 9 or 10 p.m. and you know most of the people are online. But no, you shouldn't actually be doing that. What you actually need to do is you need to find out the right time for your page, the right time for your audience, and you need to keep switching your time. You need to probably try a 7 a.m. post one day. You need to probably try a 12 noon post someday. You need to probably try a 11 p.m. post one day. But you need to be able to time it right. If you don't time your posts right, you don't get the initial few number of likes and comments. If you don't get those likes and comments, your reach automatically decreases. Facebook has said in its algorithm update that the rate at which people like, comment, or engage with your content will define the number of people your content eventually reaches out to. Just keep that in mind. If you want to know more about these edge rank changes, go to newsroom.fb, check out the edge rank changes, and make sure you make them part of your campaign. For anybody who's been out of touch with Facebook for a long time, the old edge rank system is gone. It's been gone for a while now. So you must update yourself with that. So while all these changes will help you out, but why is, at one level, why is really this edge rank, making our content not reach out to people? It's simple. When somebody can make money out of something, why should they offer it for free? So Facebook, as of yesterday, I'm sure a lot of you received this message that Facebook's crossed 2 million advertisers globally, right? And most of these businesses are, by the way, SMBs, agencies, individuals, freelancers, companies. The point is, people are paying lots of money. Now, when people are paying money and you decide to spend none, what will happen? Of course, you will lose out in the process. So whether or not you like it, whether or not your boss likes it or your client likes it, you need to convince yourself and them that it's no more a free platform. It's no more a platform where you will get virality for paying nothing, but you will have to pay. So to actually be able to reach out to people, you need to first reach into your pocket. Show Facebook the money, show other platforms the money, and then go ahead. In 2015, one of the most important trends will be money on social networks. If you don't spend the money, you can well stop doing your campaign after a point in time. Other than if you are also good at it that you don't need to spend any money. The next thing that we need to look at is videos, right? Again, in fact, if you talk about the whole social media journey, it all started with viral videos. Everybody wants to do viral videos. Everybody is wanted to do viral videos. and there's just been a lot of talk around viral videos, right? So the point is that why in 2015 will videos make more sense? What has suddenly changed? Why are we talking about videos becoming more prominent in 2015, right? One of the key, of course, everybody here knows TVF Kutyapa. We all saw how they actually crossed 1 million subscribers recently, right? So what is it that is fueling all of this growth? The real answer is cheaper net speeds, cheaper data packs, cheaper broadband plans, in fact. So if you look, more and more people now at least have a GPRS or a 2G or an edge connection. And a lot of people have a 3G connection. I mean, if we had 4G, of course, we'd pay for that as well. But the point is, if you look at the number of people who are increasing in terms of them having a mobile connection, while that has, this is the cost, in fact. So the percentage increase has been more in terms of mobile internet connection over them spending on their mobile, right? More and more people are now more eager to spend on mobile internet, and they are happy doing that. 250, 300, 400 rupees doesn't hurt anybody. Thanks to this growth, you get more and more people to see videos on social. You get more and more people to access other things on social through their mobiles. I'm repeatedly saying this. When you are thinking of your social media strategies, please keep mobile at the very front. You do not maybe need a different mobile marketing strategy, but when you're doing a social strategy, you need to remember you're actually doing a social mobile media marketing strategy. Today, I don't know if some of you read it, Google has come up with this new change engine algorithm that they will rank higher websites which have a mobile optimized version, right? That's an SEO update, but it just goes on to tell you how important mobile must be becoming in the global gamut of things. If you talk about speeds, if you talk about the potential of where we lie, just look at India on the very right and look at US on the very left. In US, you've got 4G speeds and so many people using 3G, while in India, you have a fraction of us using 3G connections. The point is that if we are already beginning to do so well, just think of what the future holds in store. Just think of what 2015 holds in store. You need to realize the potential of this 3G. You need to realize the potential of what will happen when this will explode, when it will reach out to more and more people, and things will move on from there. So offer good videos and people will gulp. The point is, we try to make such boring videos at times and then want them to go viral, that of course it will never happen. If you make a corporate presentation in a video and hope that million people will watch it, it is never going to happen, right? But if you make some interesting content, if you convey an interesting message, it could even be non-funny, it will travel far. I don't know how many of you saw the British Airways ad. It wasn't even an ad, it was a huge campaign, in fact, where the son meets the mother who's made okra. So videos can do well provided you make good content. One small tip when talking about videos is that sites these days, the likes of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, have started favoring videos that are posted on the site itself. So instead of you posting videos on YouTube and then sharing them on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, if you're not aiming to earn revenue out of those YouTube videos, try sharing the videos on Facebook itself. You will see a marked difference in the number of people who see your video. Why is that so? Simple reason is Facebook doesn't want you to leave its platform and go to some other site to watch a video. It wants you to stay on its own site. In fact, if you've seen the recent small tweak in their mobile app, if you click on a link on Facebook, it opens in the Facebook browser itself. You don't actually go to Chrome or you don't actually go to Safari. Nobody wants you to leave their site, right? So after videos, what is the next big thing or next big thing that is emerging in 2015? Now you see, it's not just Facebook, but all of these platforms, and Instagram, even a G Plus, Twitter, Pinterest, all of these platforms are leading to a lot of sales for online companies, are leading to a lot of leads, are leading to a lot of conversions. You can see the percentages mentioned there in terms of what is the conversion rate versus a click generated or versus a lead that they are getting. Every social media platform is like a marketplace. You just need to identify which one is working out well for you. Is it Instagram or Pinterest? Are you trying to promote a brand with its pictures? Is it Twitter? Are you generating leads via LinkedIn? Or are you doing the plain vanilla Facebook for your campaign? Now, what is fueling all of this and how is this evolving over time? One is Facebook has recently launched two things, in fact. One is product ads, the other is dynamic ads, right? Dynamic product ads, in fact. Some of you might have seen this on Facebook. There is this ad where you have five, six products. They are moving in that scroll bar. They're moving in that, like a slider. They are moving, and you of course click on a product, and it will take you to the website, and then you can buy. This is the latest addition to the kind of ads that Facebook is offering. These multi-product dynamic ads. They are available either through the Facebook API or they are slowly being rolled out through Facebook Power Editor. I mean, I'm assuming and I'm sure that a lot of you use Power Editor. If you don't, look for what is a Power Editor and try to use it. The kind of ads that these are will surely help you and your brands and your e-commerce websites in selling more stuff. So just remember that. Next, this is something again which is being tested out by Facebook in select communities. You can actually look for it and then apply. You have to apply for such a group. Once they approve your request, then you can convert your group into this. It's called a Facebook for sale group. Right? What is a Facebook for sale group? It's a group which openly invites you to sell stuff. So if you can see here, it says sell something, write a post, ask question, what are you selling and stuff like that. Eventually, it will be a group of collection of various things which a community manager wants to sell. You can look up for this on the net and you'll be able to find out. So all of this is leading to the rise of social commerce or S-commerce as they're calling it, right? So far you had e-commerce and e-commerce websites promoting themselves on the likes of Facebook, Twitter, and all of the social media platforms. Now what is happening or what is going to happen is social commerce, right? Which is either through the use of something like a Shopify or a Sellmojo, you selling stuff itself on Facebook, or more and more integration of these e-commerce websites and portals with social media platforms. Then the next big thing, which is going to be there in 2015, is geo-targeting, right? You may or may not be aware, Facebook has silently launched something called Place Tips, right, in newsfeed. Anybody here joining in from America might have seen it on their iPhones. This is a small little change which keeps tracking your location as you move around in the city, in the country, and serves you content catering to your location, right? So if you're in a particular location, it will try to show you content from that location. And of course, what does it eventually mean? It will start showing you ads from the vicinity. Facebook has company page address. Facebook has your location. You are a bakery. You say, I want to target people who are in the vicinity. Facebook starts showing your ad. Problem solved. It's geo-targeting. Twitter, of course, already does that. But just to lay emphasis on this concept of Solomo, I wanted to show this. They are generating tailor ads based on your location, which is based on your mobile device location essentially, and then they show you localized ads, right? So this trend, Solomo, which is social, local, and mobile, is finally coming to reality with Facebook hopefully introducing this in other parts of the world. We had our Foursquare, we had our we have a Swarm, I think it's called Swarm. So they help you tag yourself at places and everything, but so far nobody has been really able to capitalize on this concept of checking in at places or targeting me as I am somewhere, right? Now, uh, there's been a lot of talk about WhatsApp and WeChat and to an extent Snapchat as to how can you use them as marketing platforms. Or a lot of people would ask that Facebook bought WhatsApp for such a huge sum that how do they intend to make money out of it? While that's a separate question, the point is that WhatsApp is already being used by brands in different ways to reach out to their customers, and the same will happen as we move ahead. One quick example here, Absolute Unique. They launched, I think, in Argentina, and what they did is they threw a party, right? And they won't do a proper campaign in, of course, print and TV. So they did a very subtle campaign. They had a attendant who will be there at the entrance of the venue. They gave him a name Sven, and they said that to get your free pass for this party, you need to convince Sven over WhatsApp as to why should you be allowed to attend this party. So if you can remember the Anything for Jetta campaign, where they used Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. Similarly, Absolute, they did only over WhatsApp because they felt that it's very famous in that region and people will make good use of it. It turned out to be a very good campaign. This was, I think, an year or two ago. And it's, of course, a very good case study to look at. If you talk about India, it's happening at two levels. One is, for example, during the last elections, the general elections, you had all the political parties offer a phone number to you that if you want to stay connected with the political party or get updates from that party, you give a missed call on a certain number and you start getting WhatsApp messages from that party about its plans, about what are promises and everything else. That was at one level where you can do a massive WhatsApp campaign. The second level of doing the same thing is when a store manager or somebody at a localized store uses WhatsApp to sell stuff. So there are some multi-brand outlets which are already making use of it. What they essentially do is, let's say for example, you sell cars, or let's say you probably sell garments, and you have a dedicated database of yours, or as a salesperson, as a team manager, you have salespeople, and that salesperson has a dedicated audience of his. So now instead of sending mailers or sending SMSs, they send actual pictures of the products at display to their personal WhatsApp contacts, and people have reported amazing turnarounds in terms of the ROI generated through the campaign. It's a free campaign, of course, in that sense. And even though a lot of people may feel that it's intrusion of privacy, but it is helping companies generate revenue. So there may not be official guidelines right now as to how you can use WhatsApp for promoting stuff, or how you can actually, you cannot of course advertise on WhatsApp, but people are making use of it. So can you. Now, the whole point is that the rules are just dynamically changing, and you need to make sure that you are a step ahead of the game to be able to win it, right? You can't keep working on your Facebook strategy from 2 years ago and hope for it to still give you great returns, because it is not going to be the case. So let's quickly look at some ways to make more effective use of these platforms. Now, you need to explore Facebook ads in depth. Like the newest addition that they've done to the ad manager is behavior-based targeting, and right now it includes Cricket 2015. So people who are indulging in discussion and debate around Cricket 2015, you can actually target them through a Facebook ads platform. Similarly, retargeting, of course, most of you would have been doing it. If not, try to find out more about the same. Facebook's ad exchange, which is now on Facebook itself. And the third one, lookalike audience. If you have a certain database with you, target more people using the lookalike audience, people who are like the ones you've already targeted. When you talk about Twitter, you look at Twitter as a platform to increase number of followers, have a lot of retweets, have a lot of favorites, and then you submit that nice report to somebody, and all of you kind of become happy. But if you really want to extract the most out of Twitter, please use it as a lead generating platform also. By lead generating, I do not mean that you have to sell via Twitter, but by lead generation, I would also mean hiring. I would also mean a lot of other things that you can actually do. Use the simple Twitter advanced search, which is there on the platform, and of course, so many other tools that are available outside Twitter, and make sure that you are able to extract the best out of this medium. Similarly, for LinkedIn, uh, if you are also one of those people who's had a LinkedIn account for 5 years but haven't really been able to do anything on LinkedIn so far, then I'm afraid but you've been losing out on a lot. You can do a lot on LinkedIn. One of them again being lead generation. Go to the advanced search feature, look for people to hire, look for people to market, look for people to do a lot of other things. Similarly, may or may not be aware, you can export your LinkedIn connections, all your LinkedIn connections with the email IDs, the phone numbers, and everything else. Now, Google Plus launched with a bang, right? It was supposedly the Facebook killer. I had tremendous belief in Google Plus, but unfortunately, not everything that we think will be right goes right. So Google Plus as a social media platform may not be doing as well as all of us would have hoped for it to do, right? But Google Plus is leading to great SEO. Even after the authorship has gone, it is still leading to great SEO in multiple ways. Of course, you can integrate Google Plus with your website, and that will help you to get better search results for a website and or better optimized results. Also, when you share stuff on Google Plus, it gets indexed immediately as against a lot of other things that are there. So I just wanted to show you this example where I posted something on Google Plus, and in fact, frankly, 30 seconds later, it was appearing in the Google search results. This, of course, was my own result, so I was able to see it. But in general, at least it is getting indexed. So if you keep sharing content on Google Plus, eventually it will be beneficial for you, your company, or agency, and others. So use it for that. And Twitter has also recently struck a deal with Google. So Twitter results also will soon be seen on Google, right? Now, Instagram and Pinterest, they're like those two portals that everybody talks about and everybody keeps trying to do. Some of you must have been successful, but largely there's ambiguity in terms of, are they even worth it? Are they good enough? Should we be doing any Instagram and everything? So the point is, a lot of brands have already been making the most out of Instagram and Pinterest, especially if you talk about any food brand, any retail brand, any fashion brand, any travel brand. A lot of them have been posting pictures. A lot of them have been attracting views to the website. They've been selling via the medium. These are just three random Indian brands which are doing well on these mediums. You also should try and explore this medium, especially if you line any of these domains. It will definitely be good. If you're in some other domain, then you probably need to think a little more about whether or not you want to do it. But you definitely cannot ignore Instagram and Pinterest, right? Now, Quora, of course, as you know by now, most of the people on Quora are Indians. But of course, I mean, that has to do more with most of the people on the earth also being Indians. Most, not actually the majority. So Quora is actually being used by people for serious business. You can look at two examples here. One, of course, is Pradeep, who's Digital Vidya CEO, and the other one is Dr. Ravindra Kulkarni, who's a cardiologist. You see now what people are using Quora for is they answer questions pertaining to their industry, and then they maybe subtly share their link or just generally do more branding about themselves. It's a very effective way to reach out to people. It's a very effective to do marketing and promotion in the long run. If you're the kind of person or a consultant or an agency where you're handling everything yourself, you must definitely make use of Quora, because it may not be a medium which will give you direct returns or immediate returns, but trust me, sooner or later, this will help you. All right. Now, if you talk about Uh, Although blocking is not really a part of social media as such, we can also debate on that. But if you've been the kind of person who's only been blogging a lot on your own site, my recommendation will be stop doing just that. Try to write guest articles. Try to reach out to people and write a guest article. Try to upload content on SlideShare. SlideShare is like the YouTube for business. You've got to upload stuff on SlideShare. You've got to make it reach out to people. And actually, it's only when you actually do that that you'll be able to see what SlideShare can do for you. Host a webinar like I am right now, right? Who will take the pain of writing such a lengthy blog? Let's just host a webinar and reach out to people. And the webinar stays. The webinar stays in form of a video somewhere forever. So that's again long-term branding in that sense. And the video content is growing and growing. Helps. And podcast, of course, you know, we are cool enough to do podcasts, and people are doing podcasts, and people are also hearing to podcasts. Try to experiment with some of these strategies. 2015 and the time after this belongs to everything that is new, that is uh, to do with a lot of technology, yet easy, right? So, in general, to conclude, my most important point, or my most important personal takeaway, in fact, through all these years has been that please don't follow the mob, right? Please don't just do campaigns because somebody in the West is doing it, because some other agency is doing it, or because it seems to be the happening thing. Choose your platforms carefully, become wiser and wiser, so that you can actually plan your campaigns nicely. Whenever you're running a social media campaign, try to not run it alone, right? Try to integrate your social media campaign with other mediums, and not just trying to say email and SEM and something SEO, but I'm trying to say think of offline marketing initiatives of your company or whatever. Try to integrate it all and see the difference in the kind of campaign you're able to run then, right? Most important last point is that so far social media has been about, oh, how many numbers, how many tweets, how many retweets, how many favorites, how many likes. Now and as we move ahead, what is supposed to matter will matter. If sales matter, then that matters. If branding matters, that matters. People will stop asking you how many likes did I get. They'll ask you, okay, let's do a Google Analytics check of whether it converted into any sales or not. Let's do a sample survey and see whether it led to any more branding or not. I think the honeymoon period of social media is now over. We've come down to the grim realities of social media like any other medium. Every other medium also had its dream run. There was SEO, there was PPC, there was email at a point in time. Now we are all at the same stage. Now you make it perform, or the campaign essentially perishes. So with that, thank you so much for being hopefully a patient audience, although I can't hear you. Wish you a socially smashing 2015. This is where you can reach me and us. And now we can open the forum for questions. So yeah, over to you, Kapil. And thanks everybody.
Thanks. Thank you, everybody, for your participation. And thanks a lot, Prateek. There's a lot of things that I was not aware of. Thanks a lot for sharing all this wonderful information with all of us. Before I actually open it for questions, just wanted to inform you that today's session is going full house. We have 101 participant right now present in this webinar. So I just wanted to quickly do this poll who all is present, and I'll just share the results with all of you as well. If you're a sales and marketing professional, please select the first option, or if you're in the digital marketing, select the second, entrepreneur or student, just select the fourth one. I mean, they'll just give an idea on who all are here today. So I'll just wait for another 3 seconds and then I'll close it. Three, two, one. Thanks. So there are, just to share results with all of you, there are 24% of us are from sales and marketing domain, 35% digital marketer, and 18% entrepreneurs, 7% students, and 16% from others category. So that'll probably give you some idea on where we are, right? Now coming to the questions, guys, you can now post your questions. So I'll try to pick up the questions from the earlier one first and try to pick up as many as possible. There's a question from Sushrita Sen, and I think a lot has changed in on social media, but this question hasn't changed. And The similar questions are coming from the lot of people from iCubes as well. Uh, Sushrita wants to ask, hi Pratik, I deal with B2B business. Would love if you can share some insights on that as well. And just to add to that, iCubes, somebody from iCubes have asked this question. What is social media for a B2B company? What metrics and tools and strategy can one adopt? Pratik, any comments on that?
Sure, sure. So hi to the people at iCube. Hi, Susrita. I think B2B has always been a point of discussion and point of contention when we talk about social media. I think the biggest problem or the biggest challenge when you talk about a B2B campaign is that the moment you think about social media, you keep thinking about Facebook. And I think that's exactly where everybody goes wrong because out of X amount of your time that you're about to spend on social media, you end up spending around maybe say 60-70% on Facebook itself. And so what is left of it you try to spend on other mediums. But what you must ideally try to do instead is you must try to actually run your campaigns through LinkedIn, then Twitter, and maybe then a bit of Facebook. In LinkedIn also, it's not really about making too many groups. It's not about randomly keeping on adding too many people. It's actually about training your salespeople, training your marketing people to be able to use LinkedIn more effectively, to be able to reach out to the right kind of people who will end up being prospective leads, and maybe even buy premium LinkedIn accounts to be able to send emails to people. Because believe it or not, the kind of conversions you can get from LinkedIn for even sending a basic email or doing a lot of other things is simply phenomenal. So please use more and more LinkedIn, and I think that will be really good.
Great. Uh,
Yeah,
Suchrita, iCube, if you have any follow-up question, just type it down in the question panel. I'll take it up at an appropriate time. The next question is from Himanshu. Actually, it's more of a comment. He's saying that, hi, can we have one ideal case study or example on a Facebook post? Even if you can't give a detailed case study, if you can direct us to some good Facebook pages who's doing good job with Facebook posts, that would be good for all of us.
sure, sure. So I think Zomato is definitely one of them. Zomato is there, Amul is there, Sony Pix is doing exceedingly well. I personally think in the kind of space that it is actually in. If you look at the kind of traffic it is generating and the engagement that is happening, I think it is absolutely brilliant. And actually, it will be then domain specific. If I could have known your domain, probably I could have been in a better place to answer. But lots of good strategies out there. So yeah.
Okay, thanks. Next question from Chaya. She wants to know why Facebook wants to discourage promotional posts.
Okay. So there are two, three ways to look at this. One is that uh, Facebook doesn't want Facebook to convert into a spammy place where everybody only advertises. Think of it like this. If I give you a newspaper, and in addition to the ads that you see in the newspaper, your regular articles also only talk about promotional stuff. If okay, think of your main newspaper as Delhi Times. If there was no Hindu, no Indian Express, no Hindustan Times, all that we had was Delhi Times and Bombay Times and Bangalore Times, how would this world be? It would be full of promotional material. Now, would we have liked that? No. We could have probably stopped reading the newspaper, right? Similarly, Facebook doesn't want that to happen, and therefore it is taking you away from that part,
Great.
right?
Guys, right now in front of me, there are close to 60 to 70 questions. I don't know how much will I'll be able to take it, so I'm just trying my best to take as many as possible. Uh, Amitabh Sen, he wants to know, like you said, use trending topics to get on the news feed. So, can you give some example how you're going to correlate while selling a shirt using that trending topic?
So again, see, the point comes back to the fact that you don't need to have to think of these trending topics on Facebook the way you look at trending topics on Twitter. And if you really had to pose that as a question as to how do I look at selling a shirt using a trending topic on Facebook, Then think about this. You got AB de Villiers hopefully trending right now. I'm guessing he must be trending right now. So what do you do then? Look at AB de Villiers' t-shirt. It must be all sweaty and soggy by now. He could do very well with a new Alan Solly shirt. You could get one to follow this link to no more. So you have to be creative, innovative, and be able to really think on your feet at that point in time to be actually able to do that.
Okay. Uh, Prajakta, she wants to know adding Pinterest or Instagram app to your Facebook business page. Is it useful or not?
Right. So adding various apps to your Facebook business page has its own benefits. First of all, the biggest benefit that there is no harm. That's the first most important benefit. Second benefit is that if I come to your Facebook page, that's the only link that I have for you. It might be helpful for me to actually just look around and see what you've been doing on other platforms, what you've been doing on other social media channels, and more such stuff. So it's actually helpful in that sense. But that's about it. It's like a beautification of your Facebook page. Largely, that's about it.
Okay. The next
Right.
question is from Lattice. Lattice, she wants to know, hello, can you tell me
Yeah.
what are the predictions for LinkedIn in 2015 and any tips you may have on how to make it work as business publishing network?
Sure, great. So actually, if you all have been noticing, LinkedIn has been undergoing a lot of changes in the past year or two. I've forgotten who is that person who joined in, but I think somebody in their top management changed. Somebody new has joined in, and what you now have is a lot of people, a lot of changes on the network. Some of them being the publishing post concept and different stuff. So one is when you publishing posts is a very strong tool to reach out to people. If you write about something again which is being discussed, which is in inverted commas hot, you might as well end up influencing a lot of people with that article because articles on LinkedIn travel far and wide. And if you have a good article, you never know, you might even end up getting on the LinkedIn pulse at work. So one is as a business, you need to make sure that you are publishing good quality articles every once in a while. And you do that from the very top management person or from the kind of person who has a good 1,000, 2,000 people in his network so that you can have that immediate initial reach. Second thing is as a business, you've got to try out LinkedIn ads. They might cost in excess of 100 rupees per click or something around that figure, but they are very nice. They are very useful. And if you're selling something worth thousands and lakhs of rupees, then it'll come in handy. And what to look forward to in the platform of Twitter is that if you're not aware, they acquired SlideShare an year or two back. So you might look at them acquiring more business portals, which could be beneficial or useful for them, or you could look at them consolidating such portals and coming up with something which is more comprehensive and stronger.
Great. So there's a question from Satish. He wants to know, can I target, say, only doctors community on a campaign on Facebook, Twitter, etc.? Which social channels does targeting precisely?
Okay, so I think all social channels have their own strengths and weaknesses. If you want to target doctors, you would have to go about it very interestingly. You'll have to actually think of the kind of things doctors do or the kind of things that they are hopefully supposed to like. One is that you can do that through Facebook, but I think the most important platform which can be handy here is LinkedIn, because on LinkedIn you can do precise targeting for the profession of a person. So if you want to target doctors, you can target doctors. Hoping that the doctors are actually there on LinkedIn. Or first we could arrange a training for all the doctors everywhere. Then they can be on LinkedIn and then you can target them. Of course, that was a attempt at a lame joke. Nevertheless, yes, Kapil, going on.
Yeah, guys, while actually I'm taking up more questions, I'm just putting up this poll in front of you. You can take it more like a commercial break. We do 6 months course in digital marketing in which there's a 1 month module on social media marketing, which Pratik takes. So in case you're interested in taking this 6 months course, you can just mention yes over here and I'll have someone from our team call you very soon. So while you're responding to that, there's a question from Prerna Dubey. She wants to know, how is social mobile marketing different from desktop social marketing?
Okay, so sorry, please come again, Kavin. Social
How
mobile
is
marketing
social
difference
mobile
different from?
marketing different from desktop social marketing? So in short, in case of social marketing,
Very good question.
right,
Right,
yeah, absolutely.
right. So actually, there is a very tiny but a very huge difference between the two concepts. See, when you talk about desktop social marketing, you are uploading pictures of any shape and size, and invariably, people on that channel will end up reading your post or will end up seeing that post because it's a huge platform and they can see whatever is there. But if you talk about mobile, the size of a mobile screen is really small if you compare it with the desktop. So when you're doing a campaign keeping mobile in your mind, you need to think of how to optimize my content for somebody who is seeing it on the mobile. How long should my content ideally be that somebody will be able to read it? How uh, lengthy looking should my picture or my post be that somebody will be able to actually read it? So if you think of all of that, you'll be able to run a good campaign on mobile. And that's the basic difference you need to keep in mind when running a mobile campaign, that people are accessing stuff on mobile. You could actually do mobile ads in comparison to right hand column ads or newsfeed ads. So that's the basic difference between when I say social mobile marketing versus social marketing on desktop. Yeah, Kapil.
Great. So next question is from Anshuman Srivastava. He wants to know, hi Pratik, kindly suggest social media strategy for a business school. I'll also listen keenly to the response to take some tips for digital Vidya.
Okay, for a business school he's saying, right?
Yeah,
Social media tips.
social media strategy for a business school. Any suggestion?
Okay, okay. So I think lots and lots of suggestions. One of the most important suggestions has to be, and this goes to Digital Vidya as well, has to be taking testimonials of the students who've been coming to attend your courses. The big difference today in today's world is trust, right? If you can build that trust in people, people can actually trust you through various means, you can be rest assured that business will happen. So as a school and as an institute and as a college, if you can have some of your students give video testimonials, give text testimonials, which you can then use with images in your Facebook posts, in your email campaign, in your Twitter campaign, in your any other kind of feed, then you can be rest assured that it will incrementally lead to more business. Why I'm saying only this point versus everything else is because I'm very sure you've already been doing a lot of other things already, but this is something which a lot of people miss out on. So you better start doing this.
Great. There's a question from Smriti. She has asked this couple of times, and the question is that what kind of products are most sellable on social media?
Okay. So I think there is no one right answer for this because effectively speaking, anything and everything can sell on social media. But if you were to still generally ask me, then from the top of my head, I would say any retail products, maybe garments, maybe all those things that you see on a Mintra or a Jabong or a Amazon or a Flipkart, because that's easy to convince people to buy. That would be the prime example I can essentially think of.
Great. So next question is from Prerna Dubey again. She wants to know, do Twitter trends help in lead generation or are they limited only for reach and conversions?
Right. So I think IIFL as of today is doing a very some kind of a campaign on Twitter, and I think they're trying to generate leads out of the campaign. So while the primary objective of a Twitter hashtag campaign will be to reach out to more people and ensure more branding and stuff like that, uh, you can definitely generate leads out of a Twitter hashtag campaign or even a promoted campaign, provided you of course give that link and ensure that people participate in that hashtag campaign and click on your stuff. But I think you can definitely generate leads out of a Twitter hashtag campaign.
Great. Guys, actually, there are close to 40-45 questions that are still not answered. I'm not sure how I'll be able to
Right.
accommodate them all at this point
We
of
can
time.
also do it on Twitter, in fact, if we want to
Yeah,
do that
so
later.
one is that you can just tweet it using and mentioning Pratik Twitter ID, and he'll possibly definitely reply you back on Twitter. Um, Another thing that I'm doing is I've put down all the hands. So if there is something that's really really urgent and you need an immediate answer to that, you can just uh, press the hand raise button, and I'll immediately unmute you, and then you can have an open conversation. So Abhinil, I'm unmuting you. Abhinil, I've unmuted you. What is your question? Abhinil, what's your question? Looks like your mic is not working. Nitesh, I'm unmuting you. Nitesh, what's your question? Okay, Abhinil has typed down his question. So the question is that social media tools you can't live without in distribution, measuring, monitoring, tracking, analytics. So I think it's an interesting question. If you can just quickly give us the list of tools that you usually use and you
Right.
think all of us should use, that will be great.
So I think Hootsuite is one for sure, which you definitely should have. You could, along with that, or if you don't want to use Hootsuite, use Buffer or TweetDeck, right? I think if you want to keep it light, don't want a common publishing network, you could make use of Buffer. Buffer is there. Uh, then you need to keep looking at your Facebook analytics within the Facebook page. So that's not an external tool, but very helpful for sure. Uh, Thirdly, if you have the kind of money to spend, then you must definitely make use of something like Radian 6 or Adobe Social to be able to see what kind of analytics you are being able to generate, along with using Google Analytics on your website, because Google Analytics will give you a comprehensive picture of what the social traffic is effectively doing for you. Mm, Along with these mediums, I think there is something called Sife, which has recently, I mean, which I've recently come across, and I find it quite interesting. So if you could go to CYFE, Sife, I think you will be in for a good treat because it helps you create a dashboard for all social media platforms at one place. So you can
Great.
do that as well.
Great. So I have a couple of difficult questions for you, Pratik. One
Sure.
is, if you look back, you've been consulting various organizations and training our people as well for quite some time now. Uh, in last 1 year, do you think the returns that businesses were getting have from social media in terms of the business
Hmm.
results, has it increased, decreased, or it's at the same stage?
Sure. Very good and important question. So I think if I keep it as a case where I'm spending the same amount of money on a campaign and I'm expecting returns, then most definitely the amount of return that I was getting couple of years ago versus what I'm getting now has changed. As in, it was much earlier, uh, you know, 2 years ago, and it has decreased for sure by now. So what brands have done as a result is they've had to adjust their own budgets and they've had to spend more or selectively choose their platforms. Maybe they're only doing Facebook, but yes, effectively, the efficacy of social media or the ROI of social media has come down, and that is why it is more and more important for people to become smarter now while using these mediums.
Great. So I think that's in sync with what we are also experiencing. Our maybe returns per investment has gone down, but our
Yes,
overall
yes,
returns have increased, but our investments have also increased.
has
So
also
another
increased,
difficult
right?
question for you is if someone comes to you and asks you, I am planning to open a social media agency or freelancing, I'm starting freelancing in social media space. Do you encourage that person or do you discourage that person?
Well, to be very honest, I'll have to meet that person to know what
Yeah.
you are personally capable of. But I think being an entrepreneur myself, I think everybody, or at least the people who feel like doing it, must give it a shot at least once to see what comes out of it. In any case, we know that 9 out of 10 startups do not reach where they intended to when they started. But there is no reason why I would discourage you from starting up as a professional or a freelancer. There is enough scope in this world for work, provided you are able to become wise and smart enough to be able to cater to your clients.
Great. There's one question that has actually been asked by Boni and Amitabha Sen. I don't know how come both of them have asked same question. Maybe they're sitting
Right.
together. So I'll just take it up. Pinterest is very useful for product-based businesses. Can you tell me how can it be useful for IT service industry and how can we promote?
Right. So my honest answer to that question will be a question itself, that why do you want to use Pinterest for IT based services, right? My thought is that there are these various social media platforms. We are not supposed to make use of all of them. We are supposed to make use of some of them or all of them depending on our need. Now, an IT services platform can well be promoted through LinkedIn, through Twitter, through Facebook, through email, through so many other platforms, that why should I actually end up spending my energy on Pinterest? Having said that, if you still really want to promote IT services through Pinterest, then you probably need to showcase the application of your services on Pinterest and hope that uh, the pictures that you showcase there are attractive enough for people to check out, or for people to see, or for people to repin or pin, and then it could be beneficial. Otherwise, I don't really see much of a point in promoting IT services on Pinterest.
Great. Um, Another question is from Sriram. He has also raised his hand. The question is, how much should a retail startup, which is bootstrapping, must be spending per month? What is the ideal spend mix? What traction should we expect?
Um, I think depends on a lot of factors. It's a little difficult to say what kind of traction you can expect, because a lot depends on the kind of investments you are going to make on this medium.
Okay. So some of the users have raised hands, so I'm just unmuting them. Swati, I'm unmuting you. Switi, Switi, what's your question? You can ask your question now. Switi, we can hear you. You can ask your question.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, hi, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Pratik. Can I get some of the good tips on how to get a good number of followers of our LinkedIn company page?
Followers of the LinkedIn company page.
Yeah.
That's always been a tough question, actually. So I think one is that more and more people within the company need to first list them as working at this company. I hope you know that when you list yourself as working for a company, you get linked to the company page of that company on LinkedIn. That helps in
Right.
your page reaching out to more people, and also when somebody is searching for a related company page, they can see that you're part of that company and page. Second is in your email signature. I'm sure so far you have your website URL and probably your Facebook URL. Instead of that, if you really want to promote this company LinkedIn page on everywhere, then you probably should add the LinkedIn company URL to your signature there. The third part will be that when people in your company, whether the marketing team or other people, are sharing stuff on LinkedIn, you could actually have them share this LinkedIn company page on their profile, which will help it reach out to more people. So that will be quite beneficial as well, right?
Switi, is it
Uh,
fine or
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Pratik. Thank you.
okay, thanks, thanks. Yeah.
Usha? I have unmuted you. Usha?
Yeah, Hello, this is Usha here. You're able to hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I would like you to suggest me some social media strategy for a website development company.
Hmm.
I do understand that we can go ahead with LinkedIn and then Facebook and Google Plus, but can you suggest me some strategy for this website development
Okay.
company?
So my question will be that why do you need a social media? I mean, I'm not trying to ask it in a demeaning manner. I'm genuinely wanting to know why do you need a social media strategy?
I want to bring in more business prospects. I want to bring in more
Right.
clients.
Wonderful. So it's as simple as you want a lead generation strategy, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So you should have you should have minimal presence on Facebook, some fans, some bit of discussion talk there. You must look for leads on Twitter. If I am like I am on Twitter right now, if you want to look for business, then you simply need to go on Twitter and search for probably web development. Doing that will give you leads of people who are looking for web development agencies, and you can then just reach out to them, follow them, mention them, and see if they're interested in your campaign or not.
Yes.
See, for example, this is a company which is promoting web development services. So one of the most important things we tell everybody, in fact, during our sessions is that research, and research some more to find out other companies in a similar domain which are doing things that you do so that you're able to learn from them and then do similar campaigns. So don't focus on Facebook, focus on Twitter. Twitter is a landmine of leads. If you really search through Twitter, you'll find a lot of good leads there. And then do a bit of LinkedIn. Try to target the most relevant people who you think will be able to give you business. But still try to focus on Twitter, and I think it will work out really well for you. You can find out clients from across the globe on Twitter.
Oh, great. Okay.
Right?
My
Okay.
second question,
Yeah.
uh, hello. My second question is, according to your experience, Facebook ads or Google AdWords, which gives more lead generation, like
Okay.
Facebook ad campaign or Google AdWord
Sure.
campaign?
Sure.
Because
Sure.
I find it Google AdWords being very expensive nowadays.
Right. 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 Okay. So let me give you a
I
very simple
started
example.
Google AdWords since 2006, but nowadays it's very expensive. I find it
Yes.
Facebook ads, but I want to know which gives broader reach.
Absolutely. Very good question. And you have to understand it in the same way. So, the point is, if you were promoting a medical instrument, let's say you are promoting a cardiac, I don't know, I don't really know the terminology, but let's say something which is very expensive in nature, but which is required by somebody very specific, then what ads will you use? Google Ads?
Okay.
Because when people are
Yes,
searching for something in particular, they will want to go Google Ads. But you can't really be targeting heart patients on Facebook because you don't know who is a heart patient. Heart
exactly.
patient will come to search for that thing on Google, right? But
Yes.
if you are promoting, let's say, something like uh, a, a throat reliever, something like a decongestant or something like that, then
Yes.
you won't spend 20 rupees per click on Google Ads. You will want to promote that on Facebook to reach out to as many people to just announce that, Vicks inhaler helps you breathe easy or something like that. So my answer to your question is that there is no one right platform which will give you better returns for your campaigns. But what truly matters is what are you selling and how are you selling it and what is the kind of audience you are looking to target. Even if the Google ads are expensive, run them for products which are as expensive so that the ROI is all right. If you're selling something
Exactly.
worth 5 lakh rupees, let's say a car, then Google ads make all the sense. I mean, Facebook and Google ads. But if you're selling something worth 100 rupees, then Facebook ads might make more sense. And of course, it has a lot to do with a lot of interest based targeting. But I'm saying, in general, this could be one broad difference that can be there.
Great.
Right?
Okay. Thanks very much. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks for
Welcome.
your views. Yeah. Thanks.
Uh, Vignesh, guys, we have already exceeded with 11 minutes, so I'll just take up another couple of questions. Vignesh, I've unmuted you. Looks like your mic is not working, so I'll just unmute Prasansa. I've unmuted you. Prasansa Bora, I've unmuted you. Looks like your mic is also not working. Hiren, I've unmuted you.
Well, my question is how and what impact does graphics or graphical ads play on social media?
Okay, could you elaborate your question in terms of what would you mean by graphic ads? Because all ads
Well,
are
I'm
graphic.
a graphic designer and I promote some graphical ads for companies, big companies, big marketing companies. So
Right.
they hire me.
Sure, sure. So, you exactly want to know that are they good enough or are they helping my client or what? I mean,
Yeah, I want to know, okay, how can I be more useful to them?
okay, okay, okay. Very good question. So, okay. So first of all, there are some general ad guidelines that are available on Facebook itself. If you can have a look at them, which will help you make better ads, better suited for your clients. Second is what the basic trend shift on Facebook. Of course, you know about the 20% rule that you cannot have any more than 20% text on your Facebook ad graphic, which of course you must be following right now. Along with that, you need to look at more subtle campaigns, by which I mean that instead of flashy images screaming at the top of their voice, you need to look at campaigns which are more aesthetically pleasing to look at, which are more pleasant in general, and which are nicer overall, right? It will help your client get more engagement, more clicks, and more relevant clicks. So
Okay.
the second point after this is that your image should be able to truly tell the person as to what the ad is all about. It shouldn't be an image which is only aesthetically pleasing so that people keep clicking on it, but it should also be a lot relevant to what the end product actually is going to be. So if I click on the ad, I should know or be able to see where I'm going to go with this, right?
Okay.
And also third point is that there are two kinds of course, ads, right hand column and newsfeed ads. You need to make sure with your client that what ads are doing better for them so you can accordingly make better creatives.
Okay. And Pratik, my second question is company LinkedIn profile is good or personal profile which promotes company is good?
Depends on how big your company is. So if your company is Price Waterhouse Coopers, the company page is good. If your company is, I don't know, a 10-member company, then your personal profile doing branding for the company is good.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, thanks.
Great. So I think we've already exceeded the session with 14 minutes. So at this point of time, I would really like to thank all of you for your participation and really want to thank Prateek for responding to all the questions patiently. And if your question is unanswered, I would request you can actually contact Prateek on Twitter, or else we would be sending you the recording as well as we'll do a blog post on today's session very soon, and we'll send you a link on that so you can post your question as a comment over there, and we'll respond back as soon as possible. And I also want to thank all the people who have said yes to doing our 6 months course. Somebody from our team will contact you shortly in that regard. So thanks a lot, Prateek. Anything you want to say before we close the session?
Thanks. No, thanks so much, Kapil. It was wonderful talking to everybody. And best wishes to everybody with their social media campaigns.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, everybody. The session is closed. Thank you.